This bike was built for me by my good friend Paul at BSB Bikes. And what we're gonna be doing today is some finish work on it. And what I mean by finish work that needs to get done on a brand new bike is reaming the seat tube to the specific size. It's facing the bottom bracket shell to make sure each side is perfectly parallel with one another, chasing the threads of the bottom bracket, and then reaming and facing the head tube. These issues are typically corrected by the builder of the bike. So why am I finishing this bike off? Well, it's because I wanted to, and I wanted to share some of those finishing processes with you as well. So let's take a closer look at this seat tube. See where the tube is discolored? That is a sign that the material has been distorted and that we will need to correct the tolerances. This being a seat tube, it's supposed to be a slip fit with the seat post. So a slip fit is where the smaller of the two items is slightly smaller than the inside diameter, and it allows this to slide in with little to no resistance. In this case, our seat post has an outer diameter of 31.6 millimeters. We want the inner diameter of the seat tube to be just a little bit larger than that. So our goal is going to be 31.7 millimeters. So let's take a couple measurements to see about how much material we're going to need to remove. As you can see with this seat tube, we get 31.73 millimeters in line with the frame and 31.45 perpendicular with the frame. I know I need to take some material off, so let's get our reamer set up. This reamer is adjustable. As I go larger, I will do so in half-turn increments, and we will verify the OD of the reamer every time I change it. To check the OD of the reamer, take your calipers and rock them back and forth on the two cutting flutes 180 degrees from each other with slight pressure on the thumb wheel. You will see the dimension grow and then start to shrink. The largest dimension is where the reamer is set to. Now, to use the reamer. When cutting, use plenty of cutting fluid to help evacuate chips and help keep things cool as the cutter removes material. The first cut or two will be pretty choppy as you take down the problem areas. As you get closer, it's best to have a properly sized seat post nearby to use as a test gauge. More material still needs to be removed from this one. And now we have a properly reamed seat tube. This slides in with very minimal effort, doesn't rock at all, very stable. So we're all done with that. But some of you may have noticed that there is an uncut section of the compression slot. This is on purpose to prevent the upper section from expanding during the reaming process. I will use a grinder with a cutoff wheel to cut that out. A thin file to do some light finishing, and then some emery paper to deburr and finish the edges. Boom, and just like that, we have a properly sized seat tube. So stay tuned for the build of this beautiful bike down the trail a little bit.